Buffering, buffering, buffering. Let's check it. No, come on, come on. It's not giving it to me. Where are we live? I can't tell. I'm trying to go to one of the channels to see if we're live yet.
It said we're live. It says we're
It
live.
says,
Right?
there we go. There we go. There it is. There it is. Okay, I got it. I just needed to make sure it was up and running. All right. Hey, everybody. Guess what? Of all the people in all the world who wants to be with me, I have the one, the only, the hate eight baconator himself, Michael Watson, in the house. Hey, Mikey, what's up?
What's up? How you doing?
Not too bad, not too bad. It's been a very successful day. I made some Star Wars videos. I'll be doing a live stream here of some Star Wars Battlefront 2 later tonight. I got some videos edited, and I'm getting the Gem City Comic Con stuff that we did 2 weekends ago up on YouTube.
Okay, all right, that's what's up. That stuff a couple weeks ago was fun.
Oh, you guys, your panels nailed it. Of course, you took the win from Ren, so.
All right, Ren got the popular vote, and then I got the showrunners vote.
So in other words, Gem City Comic Con runs just like our politics.
Pretty much. Pretty much. Oh goodness gracious!
So of course we have to do it, Mike. May the fourth be with you.
May
always.
the fourth be with you. Yeah, it's Star Wars Day.
It is Star Wars Day.
Got my lightsaber right there on the wall.
Nice. All my stuff's in the living room. I hooked up the VHS because I do not like the special editions at all. So I have to go old school, and so I pull out the old VHSs from the 1980s and I watch those.
Completely understandable. I'm not mad at you.
So, you've been around as long as I have. You've seen the prequels. You've seen the Golden Age. You've seen you've seen this jumble mess. Out of just the basic 9 movies, which is the best one in your opinion?
The single best one out of all 9?
Mm-hmm.
That is a horrible question to ask me. You're going to make me lose this audience that I've spent all year building on my YouTube channel, all 20 of them. Well, I can tell you right now, I'm not picking any of the prequels in this.
That's fine.
I have severe issues with the prequels.
Everything.
And then it starts to get a little particular because episode 4 obviously was my first experience with Star Wars. And wow, we get it. You know, it's classic. I love it. But I do enjoy a good Empire Strikes Back. But I enjoy Empire Strikes Back for just certain scenes. And then I do enjoy the new ones. I know a lot of people don't, but I enjoy the new ones. I love Kylo. I love Rey. Man, that's a hard question. Are we asking which one do I feel is the best or which one's my favorite?
Which one is, okay. For me, my favorite is also the best. So you could do it either way you want.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to go with my favorite. And I think my favorite, and this can change just depending on what emotional bag I'm carrying, but I'm gonna have to go with Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
The last scene, Luke Skywalker's last fight scene with Darth Vader, brings it all the way home with me. Because I believe that scene's my favorite scene probably out of the whole saga, just because I don't feel like that was choreographed. I feel like that was real emotion that he put up on the screen, and like he really put himself in a place where this mother is threatening my sister, and he just went off like no, like, and just like it was like violently gorgeous.
You know, I still think during that scene, if Luke would have been like, sister, after Vader's like, sister, you have a sister, maybe she'll turn to maybe we could turn her to the dark side. And Luke been like, dude, it's Leia. Vader would have been like, Oh no, never mind, never mind. I scratched that. No, no, ain't gonna happen. That woman's a thorn in my side. No.
Maybe he would have rethought that.
He's like, we'll go after her sister. It's Leia. Never mind. No, no.
No, 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 that can't be. That's your sister.
Yeah, it's
She
like
came from me.
yeah, him just going, man, all that work I did in the first movie with her, no, I'm not doing, no, she's not even worth it.
Mm, mm.
Or he's gonna be like, that explains so much.
It does. It's like all that I did to Obi-Wan and the Jedi Council thrown back in my face. That's actually really funny, and I'm not going to let them claim that that was intentional, but that was a happy accident.
Oh yeah,
he was a complete jerk to the Jedi Council, to Obi-Wan Kenobi, to all of them. He was just a little spoiled brat, and then he comes in here as Lord of the Sith, conquering the universe, and his daughter is giving him the most act right ever. Just
yeah.
back in his face. That's incredible. I never thought about that. That's awesome. Good job.
And this is something that I've actually talked about, and I thought it was hilarious because I'm gonna flat out say it. Rise of Skywalker sucked. But watching Emperor Palpatine go, the princess from Alderaan has foiled my plan. Well, it's kind of like what Darth Vader would have said. Have been like, wait, she's your sister? Oh crap.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously for me, the best of all, which is probably one of the reasons why it was the least tweaked when he started retweaking the original trilogy, is The Empire Strikes Back. It's just so perfectly formatted. And obviously the only downside is it is part of a trilogy, so it ends on a downer, but there's still that moment when that music's swelling and they're looking out into space and you're still just like, oh, yay.
Oh, no, yeah, absolutely. It's still great. It still claps. It still has those rings. Still has all those little nuances on it. So, like, I get what you're saying. Like, it ends on a clip, but no, I think that just adds to it.
It really does. But the writing's perfect. The acting was phenomenal. Darth Vader was bossing it. He's like, "No, you ain't shooting me. No, 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 no. Please sit down. Let's have dinner. Bring in my special guest star, Boba Fett. You ain't gonna be here long, by the way. Just so you know, we're gonna get rid of you real quickly in the next movie. Come and have a seat, sir."
Right.
And then, but you know what? I have no hate for the fact that Return of the Jedi is your favorite, because I'm gonna be honest. As a kid, Return of the Jedi was dope.
Right.
I mean, anybody my age that got to see it when I was, and they were little too, they're like, Ewoks, those things rule. That's why we had two movies and a very popular cartoon series off of them.
Ewoks were super cool when you were a kid, but when you get older, you're like, yeah, this was not needed. I don't understand it, but like then you really start to take in the gravity of this is a toy licensing company. They make the money off of toys. Like,
yeah.
Really like you're like, oh, these Star Wars toys are cool. It's the Millennium Falcon, the X-Wing, the lightsabers. But then when you see Ewoks and you look back on it, it's like toys.
Yeah. The man knew what he was doing. I mean, he's like, toys. They had sold so well for the first two movies. He's like, we're really going to get toys now. And again, regardless, kids loved it. It was a brilliant move. And we got, again, two movies, and we got I still love the cartoon series. So the one that actually taught everybody the Ewoks names.
Oh, God. There's things that George Lucas has done with the Star Wars franchise that I do not agree with, that rubs me and tickles me the wrong way. But
sorry.
But respect has to be given to him for what he did invigorate, what he did create, what he brought to the table. He had this clay and he molded it, and if he would have he brought the clay to the table, and it was some damn good clay.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying that it wasn't. I think what he did was fantastic. And yeah, it was his right to change it. I just think that the changes he made when he did a special edition really kind of destroyed this masterpiece that he did.
Mhm.
I think he should have left it when he tweaked it for the digitally remastered and left it at that. I think the digitally remastered still gave it the same feeling that we originally had. It just cleaned it up.
Now, to back up a little bit, I don't hate Rise of the Skywalker. There is a lot of things I enjoy about it. Now, are there things I disagree with on it? Yes. Are there a couple things I wish they would have done differently? I do. But one of my favorite scenes in that movie is Kylo fighting Rey on that water, and that water was washing him almost of his sins of the dark side. Like it was like a cleansing for him to bring him back. And Han Solo appearing as a force vision, not a ghost. I know he wasn't a ghost, it was a memory. The force was projecting him as a memory for him. But you get that. I'm a sucker for what is it? What's the word? Homage. I'm a sucker for homages. When he hit them with the I know. I'm stop it.
I know. Okay, I'm not gonna say that there wasn't some decent parts in it, but there is other things that I'm just like, no, and no, and no one wants to know that Palpatine boinked. No one in the universe asked for this to ever happen. No,
Hey, but
no,
you've got to think about it. Palpatine was the baddest man in the galaxy. Of
no.
course he's smacking cheeks.
No, no. I'm sorry. There is no amount of using the force. I am the guy you want to boink. No, I'm looking at your face. You're definitely not.
Hey,
This is not going to help.
Palpatine was out there on Friday and Saturday in them streets. He pulled, he pulled up in the space whip, cracked the door open, and hit her with the dark side.
She went,
In.
it's going to take a lot of drinks for that to even begin to start working.
And then he showed you the bar. Well, yeah. So, but I enjoyed the new trilogy. There's a lot of good things in it that I had fun with. I like all the Star Wars movies. I really do. My issue with the prequels is that George Lucas approved this cartoon called Clone Wars that was executive produced, and created by the original creators of Samurai Jack. And when this cartoon came out, they were like 1-2 minute clips, like 12 episodes, 2 seasons of magnificence. When I saw this, I was like, oh my God, George Lucas is taking notes. This is when Harry Potter was coming out, crushing it. Lord of the Rings was out, crushing it. And Matrix was out, crushing it. I was like, George Lucas has officially stepped the game up with this, baby. And all of it connected. Season 1, season 2 connected to episode 3. They said all of it was in tandem, all of it was connected. And I was like, if these are the cartoons and episode 3 is an entire like fight, it's all a battle, the end, then this is going to be miraculous. You see how General Grievous was created, how he got the heavy breathing, because Mace Windu got in that ass. That's why. And so when I got into episode 3, I was like, Lucas, baby, you will save the entire trilogy with this one film as long as you follow the formula that was made in these original cartoons. And it is nothing like the dang cartoons. It is off the map. And then he later says the cartoon doesn't even count. That's not it. And they came out with that other Clone Wars cartoon. That is probably the number one reason why that trilogy made me so mad.
Good things about the prequels. Pod racing. But even after a while, the pod racing was drug out a little too long in my taste. It was cool, but it was a little too long. Darth Maul, end of story. Nothing else needs to be said. He's there. It's cool. And that lightsaber battle and that music that John Williams did, dope.
Yes. Absolutely. I'm there with you. I agree. Darth Maul was absolutely amazing. He saves the entire first franchise for me. But then Victor Dandridge, he likes ruining things for me.
What did he do?
And so my second issue with the original trilogy is that not at one time did they ever prove to me that Obi-Wan Kenobi can beat Anakin Skywalker in a fight. Like the whole thing, like Anakin Skywalker is powerful. He's more powerful than Obi-Wan Kenobi, but Obi-Wan Kenobi was always supposed to be more skilled than Anakin. And if you take all the outside stuff out and just watch those movies, Anakin is always saving Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan Kenobi is always losing his lightsaber, and he's dependent constantly on Anakin to get him out the grease.
It was his training.
Damn all that.
I'll say here. I'm gonna help you to ease your pain. Just go. This is part of his training. He wants to see what Anakin will do. It's part of his training. He wants to see what Anakin will do. That's the only thing I could do to save you on that. Because the Obi-Wan versus Dooku. Obi-Wan gets his butt whipped, then Anakin gets his butt whipped, and then some Kermit the Frog on crack comes in, and oh god, that CGI fight was just. I'm sorry. And it did not age well. It did not. Let's see. And then you get to 3, which everybody's like, it's the best. It's great. No, it's not. Rewatch it and then cut out the Obi-Wan versus Anakin fight scene, and you're gonna be like, this movie's crap.
The Obi-Wan versus Anakin fight scene made me. This is my third issue with it. That fight scene was nothing but pretty. It was just a bunch of choreographed pretty put together to make this fight look epic. But it's supposed to be a fight of 2 of the most skilled Jedis trying to kill each other.
You think that's bad? How about Yoda, the best lightsaber guy we know, the master of the Force, goes up against Palpatine, and he's throwing Senate chairs at it? I'm out. I'm going to Dagobah. Bye. Get back here. Get back here. No. Who wrote this? Oh, wait a minute. Look, I like George. And I'm not saying that everything that he did in the prequels was wrong, but come on, dude. There's a reason why your original trilogy did so well. There was people to tell you no. Do this. It's still a story.
Yeah.
When I'm watching The Phantom Menace and it's the scene where they first get on Naboo and you pan away from the battle to watch a droid's head roll into the water. Seriously. No. No.
It was supposed to add feelings to it for you.
Right, because I really, the droids that in the first one, all they could say is Roger, Roger. And then all of a sudden they get personalities? When they get an upgrade?
Yeah, I don't understand that move. I don't understand that move at all. Like the robots' personalities threw me off like every single time. I'm just like, so is AI real? Like, did you sit here and program these robots to be like this? Or did they evolve to be like this? Like, I need an answer. I need someone to answer that for me.
Because if you just watch those movies, they literally go from Roger, Roger to, hey! And I'm like, where did you get a personality? Now, it works in the Clone Wars, and I love it. And even though, the Clone Wars went from 2D to 3D, I do love it, and I can't wait. It's how I'm going to end my Star Wars days. I'm watching the last episode of the Clone Wars that's on Disney Plus tonight.
Yeah, I was waiting for all of them to come out, and now I'm about to start watching it with my daughter. We're about to start that season now.
Oh, man. Here, let me show you what your emotions are going to do, Mike. Ready? Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Oh my god! Oh my god!
I'm good. No, I'm not. I'm okay. No, I'm not. Stop.
Well, we'll see, because I'm not that attached to that Clone Wars cartoon. I wasn't the biggest fan of, but I do like Ahsoka, so I do want to see what happens with her. It's just. And, I don't think a lot of people are ever going to agree on all of Star Wars. There's so
no, they're not,
or whatnot. But I can say I did very much so enjoy that cartoon. I enjoy aspects of the Clone Wars, the new Clone Wars cartoons. Not a lot of it, but Star Wars as a whole, like Rogue One, that's amazing. I love that film. I love it.
Rogue One was great. Let's put it though, the hands down, that Darth Vader scene at the end is worth every bit of it.
It's worth every bit of it. It is. And that is, we're going to move that up. That's my number 2 problem with the first 6 movies is I never get to see that Darth Vader. Like, that's the Darth Vader that I was expecting to see.
Yeah.
Hunting down Jedis and stuff.
Yeah, but at the same point in time, you got to remember, in the first one, they really didn't have a stunt double. It was a bodybuilder, David
Oh
Prowse,
yeah,
in the suit. They, and limited money, limited technology. I mean, it was 1977. It's like, what do you want? Um, and even though they still couldn't do it, I thought it was really cool when they did get someone to do the stunt in the Empire. I thought it was really cool because you can always tell if it's a Luke versus Vader fight from Empire or if it's a Luke versus Vader fight in Return. I thought it was really ingenious how in Empire, Darth Vader manhandles Luke only using one hand on his lightsaber.
hmm
When you get to Return, he's double fisting that lightsaber like, son,
yeah,
chill.
yeah. I dig it. I dig it. But that's the Darth Vader that I've always wanted to see. That was the Darth Vader that we. So that's what I want. So I take my statement back. That's what I wanted in episode 3. That's the Darth Vader
Yes.
that I heard about. That's the Darth Vader that was the legend in the galaxy. I didn't want to see Anakin Skywalker killing a bunch of kids. Like, I already know he's evil. He killed the aliens, the aliens on the sand troopers or whatever.
Tusken Raiders or
Yeah,
Sand People, whichever one you want to call them.
sand people. He killed the sand people, the whole families, the kids, the women, and
I
the
can't and the children, and you're acting. No.
yeah. So I know he's evil. I know he has that in him. I don't need. I want to see Darth Vader in Anakin Skywalker. That's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see him hunting down Jedi and taking their heads and collecting their lightsabers or whatnot. It's just it was
You
just
wanted to see him have more of like the background that Grievous did. Look at all the Jedi's I killed. Here's all their lightsabers. What's
yeah,
up?
yeah, yeah. That type of deal. Like I don't think he would have collected them, but destroying them or something like that, or I don't know, just something that would have been specific to what Darth Vader would have did with the lightsabers as he took out Jedi. And then, I don't get to see that. I see him kill some kids. Like, seriously? Come on now. Or Obi-Wan Kenobi fighting General Grievous. This should have been one of the dopest fights in the movie. This should have been the fight that showed that Obi-Wan Kenobi had more skill than Anakin. This should have been that fight. But in the end, he gets knocked off the building, off the platform again. Like he ain't learned nothing, loses his lightsaber, and has to use a gun.
Yeah, that is such a cop out. You having him use a blaster, and then he's like, "Oh, primitive, dude." Seriously, it just saved your butt. So shut the hell up.
Right, but at the same time, like, so nobody else tried to shoot General Grievous in his chest in this entire time. No one.
Obviously not.
Up until this point. But this is what Victor did and ruined it for me. Victor said that in that scene where Obi-Wan was fighting Grievous, that should have been Darth Maul. That when he's hovering over him on top of the ledge and looking at him with those eyes, he should have grabbed the lightsaber to spark the edge and say, "We've been here before, you and I." And like Obi-Wan Kenobi freaking connects the dots, and this is a new form of Darth Maul who survived their first encounter through scientific, grotesque methods, and Obi-Wan Kenobi gets back up and uses the dark side to beat General Grievous because all those emotions and anger come back, and he uses the dark side, and he has to come face with that he used the dark side in episode 1, and here he is again, which would have made a great conversation piece or good dialogue for when he confronts Anakin. And he can say, "I know what the dark side feels like, Anakin. I've tasted it. I've been there. But you can come back from it because I have." Oh, that was the dialogue in that one that it would have been.
It would have been really epic. At least on the bright side, they do bring Darth Maul back. And him and Obi-Wan do have a really cool fight in the Clone Wars, which, at least they saved that. Yeah. But let's face it, even just something. The fall of Anakin Skywalker in the prequels is just, unless you watch the Clone Wars, it doesn't connect. It makes no sense. And I get it. There's a lot of things nowadays. Star Wars, really, to get everything, they're making it where you have to read the books and the comics. Yeah. Oh, you want to find out this, you got to do that. But a lot of people just see the movies, and if you can't connect it, I can't base the movie by adding in a cartoon or adding in this. I have to base a movie off of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like a general public would. There's not everybody out there that has Star Wars tattoos in their living room, got TIE fighters and Death Stars hanging from it. There's
Right.
only select idiot few.
Like, as many toys as I have, I still don't have a Millennium Falcon, and I want one, but they're so dang expensive right now. I want a Millennium Falcon. I want an X-Wing, but they're just, oh God, it just hurts my pocket. And I got 4 kids. So, I have to be picky with my toys. So, like, I have Rey, I have Finn, I have Kylo, I have Vader. I have a couple Stormtroopers. I have Phasma, Darth Maul, Mace Windu, Yoda. I've got some figures, but I want that Millennium Falcon is like, it's like the jewel you have to have in all toy collections. Like, they all have to have a Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, and the thing is even nowadays, you got to be careful because which Millennium Falcon are you going to get?
Right, because now there's different versions of them.
See, I have an original, and I have a new version. The new version's the Lego version, but I have the original Millennium Falcon that flips up and you have the playset in it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's my baby.
I want. Yeah, that's the one I want.
You can't have mine. I'm sorry. I love you. I do, but you ain't getting that.
I thought that was the prize for after the show was over.
You know what? Ask Victor. He likes giving out prizes. I'm too poor. Oh, but yeah, it's amazing, and I think one of the coolest things is I am happy that there is a generation for each of the series. There's a generation that loves the prequels.
Yeah.
There's our generation who's like, no, you need to come see a real Star Wars movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there was a lot of people that were really ticked off when The Force Awakens came out. Oh my God, it's just retreading Star Wars. I was kind of okay with it. And here's my reason why. We have a generation that grew up with the prequels. Oh, those poor children. And a generation that hasn't had Star Wars at all. Here, now they can see why people like me and a lot of my friends go, oh my God, it's Star Wars! They got to have the exact same feelings that I had when I saw Star Wars in the theaters. When, they got to see it. So yeah, maybe it was a retread, but it was bringing back a lot of nostalgia and having the same feels for it. I also have a little bit of props for The Last Jedi. When
all right,
he was trying to take it in a different direction, and I give Matt props for that. It didn't work, but I give Matt props for it. Where you did fall is, really, of all the movies, from the cartoon series, the comic books, the novels, the extended universe, and the movies, you're gonna all of a sudden try to Star Trek this and make it a gas problem? No? Same Star Trek, Star Wars, space opera, not this is your future.
Well, with you saying that, I'm gonna have to. So it's a damn close. It's a number 2, Last Jedi. I absolutely love Last Jedi, and I did not understand it the first time I watched it. I didn't see what he was trying to do. Then I sat down and I blocked out all the theories, all the online conversation, and then I watched that movie. I love Last Jedi, and it's so part of my issues with Rise of the Skywalker is that I felt like they backtracked on some of the things they did with Last Jedi, and I wish they would have
completely negates it. I'm sorry, The Rise of Skywalker completely negates everything that was done in The Last Jedi.
I love Rey, I love Rey being a nobody. I love that message, and I get into plenty of debates with people about Rian Johnson. I'm like, Rian Johnson understands Star Wars a lot better than what you people are giving him credit for. Everything he did was according to the lore. How many times does Luke Skywalker have to mess up and have somebody fall to the dark side before it makes him want to quit and give in? I think making Luke Skywalker not the perfect hero who actually falls down, I think that's great. that adds humanity to him. He can't like, well, he can be if you write him that way, but I'm perfectly fine with him being somebody that has a limit and just is like, damn, dude, I can't take this anymore. You can't beat the dark side. I've tried for so long, and it just keeps infecting my family.
Right. And which here's my thing. So The Last Jedi got a little bit political when it came to the whole let's go down here into the casino thing. And I get it. I see what he was trying to say. I don't hate it, but it does, at the end of it, it seems really pointless because it just seems like, oh, let's get Finn onto the ship so he can have his last encounter with Captain Phasma, who totally got Boba Fetted in this trilogy, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, she did.
I was looking for some badass from her. I wanted more from her, but then I was
Why
like,
would you
maybe
gotta have a Boba Fett?
I was like, well, maybe.
Think about it. Darth Maul got Boba Fetted in the prequels. Boba Fett got Boba Fetted in the original trilogy, and Captain Phasma got Boba Fetted in the new trilogy. Dude, we don't always have to Boba Fett people. All right.
Yeah, that's what I was, and that's kind of like what I was thinking. Well, like maybe that's just the tradition that they want, like the little gag that they want to keep going for. Because Phasma looked bad, like dope. I was expecting big things from Phasma. I wanted the fight with Phasma and Finn to be more epic.
It was, but it kind of had like that Indiana Jones feel. If you really pay attention to like the Indiana Jones movie, well, the two that really matter, Raiders of the Lost Ark and The Last Crusade. No matter what Indiana Jones does, the fate of the villains is the exact same whether he was there or not.
Oh, okay.
Think about it.
I never thought about that.
Raiders of the Lost Ark, they still would have opened up the Ark of the Covenant, and they all still would have died.
Mm.
In The Last Crusade, he still would have gotten the goblet eventually. He would have drank from it, and he would have died.
Mm.
So, yeah, it kind of felt, okay, you Indiana Jones that part.
Bacon. Good observation.
There were certain things that I liked because I saw them, but the only reason why I liked them and a lot of people hated them is because I'm a huge fan of the extended universe. So seeing new force powers, I liked it. Seeing Leia doing what she had to do after the ship blew up, I had no problem with it. Because again, I've read the extended universe. I know how powerful she is. I know by the extended universe, she's always been more powerful than Luke.
Hey, and I don't see a lot of Star Wars fans like who are true, like that, bleed it. I don't see a lot of them pointing this out, but Leia was always the stronger one. She has never, ever even smelt the dark side. She's never felt like she's had to go over there, not touched by it, not corrupted by it. She's always been in light and kept it pushing. And it always makes you think, why wasn't the movie about her?
If you would have gone with the extended trilogy, following Timothy Zahn, it's a lot of Leia's story and Anakin trying to get redemption for what he did with his daughter, to where she actually takes up the mantle eventually of the name Lady Vader.
Okay.
So way better story. And yeah, even if you don't get to read any part of the extended universe or anything, really think back. You have Leia, who they're torturing, and she's not giving up any information. And even when they put her planet in peril, she still doesn't give them the right information. She's being tortured, and Vader still never senses who she is. Yet she never gives in.
That's what I'm saying. She has lost her real parents. She has lost her fake parents. She has lost her planet. She has lost her rebellion. I mean, she loses so much, and we must push on. So how come Leia can do this stuff? How can Leia stay on the path of the light? How can Leia be this badass, this powerful ass person? But we introduce a brand new character, Rey, as the main character, and everyone has a problem, or not everyone, but a lot of people have a problem with Rey being so convicted, with Rey being so good, with Rey staying on the path no matter what. Like, why? You've had a character do it.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, she's been there the whole time. I don't know.
I know. A lot of people's like, oh, well, where did she get her powers? And then, of course, they're like, well, the only way we can fix this is she's a Palpatine. How about not? How about let's not do the hidden parent thing? You know,
And
if,
so,
if anything else, if you're gonna have her connected with one of the characters, why don't you just go ahead and do the extended trilogy and give us Leia's twin daughter, Leia's daughter, who was phenomenal with the Force, and make her the character. That's really what you did. You just changed the name and changed her lineage. That's all you've done. You took bits and pieces of an extended universe that Disney said was no longer relevant, and you put bits and pieces of it in everywhere in your new trilogy, from the cloning of Palpatine to the corrupting of a Skywalker / Solo to it's like. And the worst part, I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna put this out there right now, the worst part that Disney did by wiping out the extended universe and going with their trilogy is, by their trilogy standards, Luke Skywalker has only kissed his sister. Shame.
It does suck.
Give Luke back his hot red-headed wife.
It does suck for him.
Give her back. And his kids.
It does suck for him. But yeah, I can put my Facebook post up to prove it. But I called that Palpatine being related to Palpatine a while ago, back when everyone was trying to figure out what was what. And my giveaway for it was in episode 7 when she fought Kylo in the last fight, which is which is a really good fight scene, by the way. She held on to the bottom of the lightsaber like she was jabbing with it, like her staff. But the way she was swinging it was just how Palpatine swings, was just how Palpatine attacks.
Right.
Now, even though I guessed that, and again, I have it on my Facebook page when I did it. It's dated and everything. I didn't want that to be it. The idea of the Force being passed on to a new generation of people, that anyone can invoke change and stand up and fight against the dark. That was the best message ever.
Right. And I think, and not only that, but that kind of goes all the way back. It would actually tie better into making everything cohesive if you go all the way back to Rogue One, which takes place between 3 and 4. So you have those guys. No, I'm not a Jedi, but I'm Force sensitive. I am one with the Force, and the Force is with me. And it shows that not everybody has to be a Jedi to be you. Just because you have the Force with you doesn't automatically make you a Jedi. People actually learn about the Force and learn how to use it on their own accord. And I thought it'd be really cool. Look, we're kind of Jedis and Sith here, so we're gonna kind of go a Harry Potter thing and say 2 Muggles gave us a wizard. Here, there you go. We're it's kind of like it's like the mutant gene. Oh, we're evolving, and it doesn't have to be your parents that make a Jedi. 2 common people can make a Jedi. And how cool would it have been to find out that Rey's parents were nobodies? Rey shown signs of using the Force at a very young age and was absolutely terrified, and they're like, nope, don't want it.
That would have been incredible. That would have been great. Like I said, there's some cool things that I wanted to happen. Like, and I will admit, one of the things that a lot of people were saying that I do agree with, I wanted more light side Kylo. Oh my God, it was so good. When he finally comes back and turns to a good guy, it was great. When he gave you the shoulder shrug, I was like, yes, Kylo, you've always been there for me. And Kylo's my favorite character in there. I loved his tantrums. I know a lot of people didn't, but I effing loved it. I think it was perfect for somebody that was so enraveled in the dark side, who idolizes his corrupt ass grandfather, that he wanted to be just like him, and he felt like he was a spoiled ass kid who just said this should be given to me because of my lineage.
Let's face it. When you really dissect Kylo, you see more of Luke than you ever do of Leia or Han. His whininess, his temper tantrums. It's all. Think about it. Think of Luke Skywalker. But I wanted to go to Tassie State to get the power converted. Oh my God! Your name's Ben after. That has no relation to Han or Leia whatsoever. That is definitely a Luke thing. Kylo should have been Luke's kid. End of story.
I
And then
love.
at least we know. Then at least we know that Luke Skywalker didn't die only kissing his sister. Look, I'm hung up about that. Mara Jade was one of my favorite characters of all time. You can't take her from me.
I understand. She was a dope character. She was dope. I mean, there were so many things to go with, but you're not going to make everybody happy. And I think Star Wars is definitely one of the hardest franchises to try to write a story for about those main characters and satisfy everyone. I
It really
mean,
is.
it's it's 30. Oh, that's what I wanted to tell you. I love Han Solo. That movie was dope. And I don't know why that movie got ragged on, but yes, I wanted to see how Han Solo and Chewbacca met. I wanted to see how they became best friends. And yeah, I heard the story about how we got the Millennium Falcon, but actually getting to watch it, that's so much better than hearing about it through hearsay 6 movies later. Watching him do that, watching him go through that, and watching Han Solo develop and see all his mannerisms and stuff come in, dude, that was cool. That was a cool movie, man. And people blasted it. And you haven't had Star Wars for 40 years. And then all of a sudden you're getting Star Wars and you're complaining about it? You're complaining like, stop making these movies every year. No, give me more.
All right. So, and this is why Star Wars is the fandom that it is, because everybody can have their opinion. So, Solo, a Star Wars story. My opinion. It's a great movie. It's not a Star Wars, not. If it wasn't a Han Solo movie, it's a great movie. To me, way too much fan service.
Okay.
Okay. Like the little things, like your name, Han, last name, I'm by myself. Solo would. Why can't his name just be Han Solo? Why can't that just be his lineage? That was so stupid. Not to mention, in my opinion, the guy who played Han Solo, to me, had nowhere near the charisma as everybody else in the movie, as my opinion. Especially, Childish Gambino as Lando. Oh my god. Oh my god, he was so spot on. And it's like, I just want to watch him. I just want to watch him. Make him a movie. I'd rather watch that. I do like the fact, again, they brought in some things from the extended universe.
Okay.
And a lot of the history. Because, I read the history. Han Solo worked for the Empire. That's how he met Chewbacca. Chewbacca was a prisoner because you find out, if you read a lot, Emperor Palpatine was a racist and a bigot, and his racism came from anything that wasn't human. So anything that's not humanoid is beneath him as far as he's concerned. And women with power, he uses them, but he hides them because he doesn't want anybody to see a woman in power. That's so, Chewbacca was a prisoner. Han Solo meets him, breaks him free. They start this budding relationship. It's really cool. And I got to see bits and pieces of it in the movie. And yeah, it is kind of cool to see it. But there's just something about every little detail had to be so fan service, from his name to, can we stop trying to force the dice on everybody, please? Please? Please. We got it. The dice are now extremely important. Okay. That's why they weren't there in 5 or 6. They were only there in 4 because they're extremely important. Rewatch your Falcon. The dice are only there in 4. They're not there in 5 and 6.
Crucial.
But they're extremely important. Kind of like, oh, here, make sure you give Chewie this medal that I never gave him. Really? Could you just flash the sign, fan service, on that for me, please? Because that's all it was.
So I mean, obviously you feel some type of way about it. What's wrong with fan service? We got some of the greatest fan service ever in Endgame. That movie was nothing but fan service, and we all cheered, cried, laughed, all of it through the whole film.
Yeah, I'd see, this is where I'm going to lose all of my viewers and all of my people. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of Endgame. I love the ending. the big mass battle that was like really cool, but the time traveling and stuff, and no, I'm out.
I'm out.
You can't tell me, hey, everybody has to wear this suit, and this person's not wearing this suit, and then I'm lost. Can I get a graph or a timeline, a chart, something, maybe? I'm not saying that I'm not saying that I absolutely hated the movie, but if you had to give it to me between Infinity War and yeah, I'm going with Infinity War. I think that was really cool. The only difference between Infinity War is that Endgame, that big of it becomes worth it because of that scene. Everybody's there. You get to see that epic, all the women coming out at once, which is a really big statement in today's society. And then there's Cap, and he's like, "Avengers assemble," and it's like, did we miss anybody? Anybody missing? Did anybody get lost? Everybody here? All right, go.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was epic.
Mm-hmm.
Getting to see Giant Man in the background, and it was really cool. So I'm not going to say that there wasn't things epic, and I didn't cheer at that, but a lot of it I'm going, that's cool. Yep. I need more battling. I need more fighting. Somebody grab my attention, please. Versus like the first time I saw Avengers, like there was always something. Like everybody's favorite scene, they always go to the Hulk bitching up Loki.
Mm-hmm.
And I get that. That's a great scene. Excuse me. Sorry, had to mute the mic because I will yell at my dog. Anyway, that's a great scene. But I like the scene where Hulk and Thor are at it, and then Hulk takes a cheap shot at Thor, showing me that personality. He's all like, "Blah." To me, that was awesome.
Hey, and I'm with you. I can't pick. Oh, there's so many. There's so many scenes to pick from.
There are so many great scenes.
This isn't the endgame conversation though, but yeah. So, but I absolutely like if I had to pick them, I do severely love Last Jedi. The more and more we talk about it, the more like it comes back to me. But like that last fight scene with Luke Skywalker, where it's a message of hope that he's a fire he's rekindling. I'm like, oh my god, that's so genius. Now, did I want Luke to come out there with the Force and crush 13 of those ships with his Force powers and bring them shattering down? Did I want a collision of power between him and Kylo Ren? Yes, I did. I did want that. But I'm not the guy writing or making the story. And when you catch Rian Johnson's message and what he's trying to do with it, you're like, yeah, even if he did do all that cool stuff in the fight, where do they go from after that?
Right.
What happens after that? It's a bigger statement that everyone saw. Bad guys and good guys. A million laser shots go at Luke Skywalker and not a one touched him. And that he dusted it off. Oh my goodness, that's the power of a Jedi. And that is the shot heard around the galaxy, people. That's how you get people to enlist. Did you shoot a million lasers? They shot a million lasers at Luke Skywalker. Did he moonwalker slide across the dirt? Are you kidding me? Did he brush his shoulder off? I thought that was only in Earth 616. I thought that.
It was. Look, I'm not saying that it wasn't really cool, and I wasn't. And it would have been epic if Luke was actually there. But the look on Kylo's face, though, until you realize what's going on, is shoot everything at him. Oh my god! Again, proving he's more Skywalker than Solo every time.
Those scenes are hilarious. Like when he says all of them, and like he clenches his fist, and like
all of them.
I love Adam Driver. He's one of my favorite actors. He pulled off so many emotions, facial expressions in that movie. I just absolutely love.
Look, the one thing is this: there's whether you are adamant about no, the original trilogy is the only trilogy, or you're like, well, I grew up with the prequels, or I grew up with this new trilogy. There's actually a saving grace in all of it.
What's that? Break it down.
There's something in each movie that almost any Star Wars fan can find something that they liked of it.
Uh-huh.
You know, like we were discussing episode 1. Well, okay, first off, John Williams takes care of everything. So there's your simple answer. John Williams. All right, okay, cool, done. I mean, let's face it, that man is a god. He is, you think about it. If you had to pick one person to compose you a movie soundtrack, that's got to be your very first answer.
Oh yeah, I mean the music beats. I mean you can't argue that.
Even though, hey, next time, could you do me a favor? And I'm really anticipating a movie, not put on the back of the CD that you release before the movie's out, the funeral of Qui-Gon, because that kind of ruined the movie there anyway.
Yeah.
We were listening to the CD while we were camped out for episode 1, and I'm like, oh, Qui-Gon's funeral. Well, that's some foreshadowing.
Right.
As in, you should have put a piece of tape over saying "Do not open until after movie spoilers." That's the limited edition. First editions got that instead of it saying Qui-Gon's funeral, so you knew who got it first because they didn't want the movie ruined. Right. That would have been epic. But for me, there's always going to be, for me at least, episode 1. Do I like it? No. Do I like the pod racing? Yes. Did it get a little stale after a while? Yeah, but it's still pod racing and gave us that great pod racing game. And Darth Maul. Yeah. Darth Maul. End of story. Episode 2, scrap. Ooh, epic battle with droids and Jedi. Cool.
Mace Windu, Samuel Jackson.
Right, but I get to see this really cool Jedi versus, it's not Jedi versus Sith. It's the closest thing I'm going to get, though. Jedi versus, the droids and everything. Dude, it was still an epic battle. It was really kind of cool. 3, even though it's, like you said, it's very well choreographed. It was very well choreographed, very well pretty. So Anakin versus Obi-Wan was really cool for me.
I can't take any of that away from it. That fight scene was amazingly choreographed, but it was too fancy. That fight scene should have been the Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader fight in Return of the Jedi. That should have been emotion, brother. Actually, perfect example. If you've watched the new Voltron series, when Keith fights, I'm terrible with names. The tradition continues. Keith fights. His name starts with an S. The dude that was original pilot for the Lion. Whatever. Why can't I remember? It's like my favorite freaking cartoon.
You're talking about the new Legendary Defender, right?
Yeah.
I know this because he's basically this Finn, but his name isn't Finn. It's Shiro.
Yeah. When they fight, like fight, that's how that fight should have been. Keith is Obi-Wan and he is Anakin. That thing was full of emotion, but the fight was intense. It hit. There was no time for fancy flips and stuff like that. You're trying, like, one's trying to kill the other one, one's trying to stop the other one without killing them, but he might have to kill him. Like, you get that sense in that whole fight. That's how that fight should have been. I just went to the greatest Star Wars parade live performance we've ever seen in that. Again, beautiful.
It's beautiful. And the thing is, at least it's beautiful, and it's the best Jedi Sith dance we'll ever see in history.
Yeah.
It was perfect to the music. And, like, the only time that you're really watching it and you really have to laugh is when they're all like, you're not hitting anything. You're just swinging your lightsaber around in a circle.
Oh, my God.
But it looks great with the music.
Yeah, that's the part that got me when they're just swinging it around. I'm like, come on, man. Come on. Like, all right, yeah, that's nice because you guys practiced it and y'all, that's dope. Yeah, that's nice because y'all really practiced it and y'all got it down or whatnot. But come on, I need y'all to do better. I need that emotion. These are two brothers. This is family. This is family. I don't know.
Right. No, I feel you. And then of course, there's there's just something about if you really watch the original trilogy, especially if you can watch it originally, not with all the special edition to it.
Mm-hmm.
It has a completely different tone, a completely different feeling, and you can definitely see where the inspiration for the new trilogy came from.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you have like the prequels where Yoda doesn't look like he's there, and then you have Empire Strikes Back where Yoda's just like, "Yo, can I hit? I'm going to take this, and if your droid takes it from me, I'm hitting him with a stick." End of story. And then even with the new ones, there's still some really cool scenes. There's some, I loved The Force Awakens because of the nostalgia feeling. And again, even though I will bag on fan service, there's also sometimes I love fan service, and so that was cool. The Last Jedi for me, that whole scene that with Kylo and Rey and taking out Snoke and everything was really cool. Watching Leia show again how powerful she really is with the Force and being able to do what she did was really cool. I know a lot of people's like, why she Mary Poppins? But no, to me that was cool. And even with the last one, The Last Jedi, there are scenes that I like. Again, they're showing why Leia's so powerful when you do the flashbacks. It felt a little junky, but it was still nice to actually see Carrie Fisher in the last Star Wars movie.
Mm-hmm.
So there's,
I mean, they were caught between a rock and a hard place, and they did what they could.
But my friend, I know you got to get out of here. I appreciate you coming and hanging out with me and we got to talk Star Wars and nostalgia, and it was so much fun.
It was. I do want to share something.
Oh, please.
Because I did it on your on the Gem City Con, and this is why. Because we were supposed to put color on it, but I didn't have time to put color on it. But I did. I immediately finished it afterwards.
Give it.
I just gave it to you.
Oh, oh my gosh. Let me enhance that. Look at that. That's my boy. That's my anime husband. Right there, people. That's my anime husband. Say what you want, but that is my husband. Always has been, always will be. Oh wow. That is fantastic. Good job.
Well, thank you. When we go back to normal, that's one of the first prints that's getting printed for my convention season to hopefully finish in the third or fourth quarter of this year. So,
well, I know that means I'm finally gonna get me some mic in my office here. You realize I don't have any of your stuff, man.
Oh no, you don't. You don't.
No,
you're always working at the show, so I never get to we never get to, if the only time we get to talk is like immediately when we say hello to each other, or when I have a panel to do there or something like that. But then you're so busy, and I'm doing stuff all over the place too. So we got to connect. We got to connect more.
Oh yeah, we definitely do. And of course, as always, tell everybody where they can find your stuff.
Oh, Art of Mike Watson on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can also follow me or get my books at shortfusemediagroup.com. I recommend buying the physical copies. They will be delivered out to you immediately, but you also get the digital copy for free. And then, of course, checking out the founder studio, Freestyle Komics, on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as well. And tomorrow on Chat and Draw, I will have Lori Foster, as I will be chatting with her and drawing one of her characters. And yeah, so Chat and Draw, Dear Creative on YouTube and stuff like that. That's where I can be found.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you so much, Mike. It was so cool to hang out and do some Star Wars stuff with you today. I was like, man, I hope he's up to doing some Star Wars talking because, I mean, it's Star Wars Day. When you're like, hey, how about Monday? And I was like, that's Star Wars Day. We ain't talking about nothing else.
I love Star Wars. I'm always up to talk about Star Wars. So,
all right. Well, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. And I'm going to let you get back to work. And remember, anytime you want to be on here, hit me up.
All right. Thank you so much.
Bye.